bet on that one.
I mean, that's just going to burn down.
Yeah,
melt it away.
I mean, if you could stop the fire, it's not that bad. But water damage, it's in there. It's going to start rotting.
That's true. You got to air it out.
I guess even if the home starts catching on fire and you could put it out with an extinguisher, it's lava. You're going to keep catching on fire. You're not just putting it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like hard rain out there. The Morgan Freeman Christian Slater movie.
Yeah.
Like
today, not really.
There were people in boats, boating around. Apparently, there's people stealing manhole covers.
Yeah, explain this. You mentioned this while we were eating when we were talking about this flooding. Why would someone steal? Well, there's a flood. Time to steal a manhole cover?
See, the thing I'm thinking
when
is
we need it now more than ever?
Well, maybe their thing is like, well, these are useless now.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's like the city don't need them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm making a wall of manhole covers.
Manholes? Oh.
No, I feel like they're being sold for metal. Right?
Okay.
I mean, they're heavy. They got to be worth something.
That's a black market right there, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't sell the city's manholes to
the city.
to the city or any reliable purchaser.
Yeah, no, you got to melt that stuff down quick. Make more manholes.
I have large mounds of steel. Would you like any of them?
Yeah, the city crest has been scratched off of them with a Sharpie. I feel like you steal them for the money involved, but you don't do it when there's no flood, because then the next day people are like, "Hey, where'd all the manhole covers go?" And then maybe they find you. You do it when there's a flood. Everyone's distracted.
That's right.
You're taking
the water
these manhole
dries
covers.
up in a week or so, and they go, "Wow, wash the manhole covers away."
But the thing that's extremely terrifying, though, is maybe it's just people playing horrible pranks on people because they're walking down the streets, and all of a sudden,
oh, can you imagine
boom,
that?
Gone.
You're in your galoshes, squoosh, squoosh, squoosh.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
down
drowning.
a long, narrow tube to
And you
the
go swim up a tube, a mucky, dirty tube.
and that's
Floodwater is never clean water.
no, that's hoping you fall straight down like a Mario. You're probably gonna fall down, hit your chin on the curb,
Probably, yeah. You'll hit something.
pass out, drown in the sewer systems.
Oh, that sounds awful. Probably twist your ankle on your way down.
No good.
Can't swim.
Uh,
Now you're swimming with 1 foot, 2 arms,
yeah,
broken jaw.
sounds like a
There's
mess.
no way
I
to
can't-
swim. No way to swim.
No, boat down those streets. But I was thinking there might be better ways in the future to prepare your home for a flood.
Go on. Just put sandbags around your home?
Sandbags, I don't know how well they work.
Well, pretty good. You make a little wall of sand.
They seem good for preparation, but then the end result is just sandbags floating in the water, and the water has overtaken them.
They're not Ziploc bags full of sand with big air bubbles. They're like, they're big, heavy bags full of sand. They're not really floating around. Sand doesn't float. It's not buoyant.
They have bags. Might.
Well, they aren't airtight bags.
I saw pictures with bags. Maybe the sand broke it free.
Maybe.
And, or maybe somebody was just...
I mean, sometimes they're packed not tight enough so little water drizzles through, but it's not enough to flood you
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah. Maybe they were just sacks of water instead of sand, and it just didn't help matters at all.
The water wasn't able to stop the water.
Yeah.
Nothing stops the water.
Maybe more water.
Interesting.
No.
Fight fire with fire.
It's got to work the same.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking when you build your house, you got to go way back to before your foundation is even put in.
Got it.
So it's very useless to most
You've got
people.
a big square hole in the ground.
Big square hole. And then you get this huge rubber tarp, let's say.
Okay.
And I'm saying 3 inches thick, just
Whoa.
to be overprotective.
Okay.
Lay that down first, then build your foundation over it, build the house up, put the dirt back in like you're doing. But meanwhile, you're bringing this rubber tarp up with it, like a skirt. Or like a
Okay.
sock. Like
a sock.
Like you're putting a sock on.
It's the house sock.
Yeah. And normally, sometimes when it's hot out and you roll your sock down so it's just
Yeah.
at your ankle.
Yeah.
That's what you do when there is no flood.
Okay.
Then when it's like, oh, flood's coming, you see your neighbors getting sandbags ready, not you. You go out and you start unrolling that
Roll up the sock.
tarp sock up your house. You hook it onto your roof.
So would at all times around the year you'd have like a big rolled up rubber condom edge around your home?
If you say it like that, it sounds less appealing. But I feel like you could do something to it. You put it in it could be underground.
And you got,
Just
flood's coming. Time to start digging up the whole
You got a
freaking
little.
thing.
You got a little latch, With
you unlatch and it'll unravel?
You open, and then you start unraveling it. And on top, you can have a little garden or something. You probably would never use it.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you did,
you'd be happy to have it.
Half an hour of work. You hook that up to your ceiling or your roof. The roof edge.
Yeah.
And you're good. You're good up until the roof. If your roof's flooded, you got a whole other problem.
You're so flooded that at this point, you're doomed anyway.
Yeah.
Give up.
So we should start patenting that.
The house condom?
I think we'd find a better name, like the house galosh or something.
Yeah. A house galosh is galosh. Galosh? A single boot would be a galosh?
You'd have to buy them in pairs. So you'd need a friend. You need a neighbor.
For you and your neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, I love the idea of that meeting. You wouldn't even have houses yet, and you'd be like, listen, you want to split the cost of a fence and a couple house galoshes? That sounds right, I guess, yeah.
And then if he says no, then you know that whenever there's a flood, you can just...
You could sit on your roof with an umbrella, shaking your head and smiling.
You got some sandbags down there?
You idiot.
Got an extra house galosh.
Just sit in the yard.
In my basement.
It's my pool right now. So Matthew.
Yeah.
This Hero Certified burger, we got there. He started explaining it to us after I grilled him about it.
Yeah.
Different meat patty options. You have a 4-ounce, 6-ounce, or 8-ounce, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You had different proteins. You had a turkey burger. You had a veggie burger. There was other option that I'm forgetting right now. Maybe fish or something. I don't know. There was some other protein option. Buns, there was a variety. There was a ciabatta bun, a sesame seed bun, a flatbread bun. And then you have your choice of condiments. The classics, mayo, ketchup, mustard, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion. And then you could add on a number of other things.
Yeah.
Grilled or fried onions. There was... and you also had cheese options. And then the add-ons that you want, bacon, etc.
Too much. There's 4 television screens of choices, of options, and decisions to be had.
Yeah. But they also had a handy-dandy chart sitting on the counter that said, here are some of our pre-assembled options. You can just say, hey, I want that blue cheeseburger. Hey, I want that onion ring burger. I want that burger with an egg on it.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of don't know why I didn't do that, because I hated having to come up with things to say and choices and make decisions.
Well, you had all the time of me asking him 100 questions and then choosing my own burger.
That was even worse.
What?
Having you speak so long at such a length with him and then think on everything. It felt, honestly, I hadn't had that feeling since I was in high school, ready to go up for a book report. Like a speech, go up to the front, and maybe like a French oral presentation.
Sure.
That's what it felt like. That's the kind of butterflies I got in my stomach. That
really
vomit feeling in my throat.
Maybe, Matthew, I just had a couple mojitos before we met up. Maybe that's what you should do. Drink more mojitos.
In high school.
Yeah.
Before my French oral exams.
Correct. So if there's any high schoolers listening, what you're going to want to do is put together a little thermos or a juice box or something. Fill it up with mojitos. You want to have 2 of those before your presentation. And you're going to feel loose. You're going to be ready to ask questions and just go with the flow. And maybe design a less than ideal burger.
Maybe. Well, I wish I had known that beforehand, because I was panicking. I kind of worked through everything I was going to say in my head, and then I forgot some crucial elements, like, do I want it to be a trio?
Okay.
I didn't say that.
That's some easy stuff at the end, though.
Didn't say if I said, like, the 6-ounce. I think I got a 6-ounce beef burger. That all went pretty fine. But then I said...
That's one element so far that you've listed.
Sesame seed bun. Mm-hmm. Okay. But then I think I said ketchup, mustard, the house sauce.
Oh, yes.
And I said fried onions, and that's what derailed me, because I said fried onions, and it was like, oh, do you mean the sautéed onions or the crispy onions? I was like, oh, Jesus, I messed up.
And instead of just like thinking for a moment and answering the question, you're like, oh, geez,
Oh, jeez.
That's screwed up. What now?
It's like, never mind.
Forget the onions. Forget all onions.
Just a glass of water. I got very nervous, though. I don't know why. It's just too much. We were like the only people in there.
Yeah.
And
at the time.
Yeah. We got in at a good time.
Yeah.
But, after I ordered, I was able to breathe. It was like just when you finish your oral presentation. And you're like, oh, now I can just sit down.
It's done.
For 2 more classes and listen to other people talk. And...
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
So, Matthew, we didn't really go over the sides either. They had fries.
Yep.
Sweet potato fries. Fried zucchini.
Mm.
I think that was it.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably turn your fries into something else, like a poutine.
Oh, yeah. And you could upgrade to a poutine. They
Yeah.
didn't have onion rings or anything, but they did have fried zucchini. And honestly, I was halfway through my burger to be like, well, what about the combo? Oh, yeah, zucchini. Okay. Let's finish the burger and then we'll get to the side.
Yeah.
Matthew, earlier today, you mentioned to me that you heard about a news story, a no kill shelter in Vaudreuil.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did mention that to you. They're going under, Sebastian.
Well, because of the flooding.
No, you'd think so, based on my choice of words. But no, actually, they just can't afford the rent. They can't afford the price of not killing all the animals, which would include feeding them, sheltering them, giving them their shots.
I was just thinking, don't they have an expensive shot to kill the animal? But I guess keeping an animal alive for an extended period of time is more expensive than
a one-shot
killing
deal.
an animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they could just use a club.
They could. Who's watching?
I'm sure there's some sort of government agency that's making sure they don't do that.
I guess. But I was listening to this, and I don't want the animals to die.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, obviously not.
But let's be realistic. I mean, you're opening up a no-kill animal shelter. You're promising people that you can sustain this idea and not kill these animals.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're running out of money. Now they're asking for $60,000. They're asking for a bailout. They're saying, hey, people out there, we need money. Well, we got pit bulls we can't get rid of. We got a bunch of animals. People just keep bringing in more animals. Mm-hmm. And now we need about $60,000 to pay our rent, to feed these animals, give them their shots. And it's like, well, this is why the kill shelters are flourishing.
Okay. First of all, I don't know if anyone's flourishing, but
the animal killing business is huge.
Exterminators, right? It's a whole business.
Uh-huh.
I feel like, first step, should they not have gone to the public earlier to say, hey, we need some of you to adopt some of these animals?
Well, you can't get rid of pit bulls.
$60,000 in the hole.
It's true. $60,000, that's a little much.
Right?
A little much. And their landlord, too, they're saying, it's like, no, I'm not giving you any more chances. So this has probably happened before.
That's probably true. And what's cost them so much, all these animals, if they could have had some sort of Christmas sale, we got cats, we'll pay you $20 to take one of these cats off our hand. Long run, they would save money.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah, well, I think they might want...
They need some forward thinking. They can't just think, oh, we'll never kill these animals.
Yeah.
They aren't planning far enough ahead.
Yeah, they got to... The animal killing option needs to remain an option. They can't just... they can't just do away with it completely. Keep it on the back burner.
Yeah, okay. Plan B
yeah,
is just off these puppies.
Yeah, so... Plan A, we are a no-kill shelter. Plan B, though, we may become a kill shelter for a weekend. How many animals can you kill in a weekend?
Oh, God. See, now there's a different business opportunity there.
Oh.
Right? You could say, hey, sadists, this is your weekend.
Jesus.
You pay $60, slaughter a puppy.
Where is this? Jesus.
$40, drown a cat.
Why is that? Why are the cats more expensive? I feel like cats
No, it's cheaper. It was cheaper.
$40?
How much? $60 to kill a dog.
That sounds about right.
$40 to drown a cat. And we'll provide rubber gloves because they'll scratch at you while you're trying to kill them. And maybe $10 to roundhouse kick a budgie.
I like that. You know what? This sounds like a pretty solid idea. It sounds like somebody...
Do you think a no-kill shelter has birds? No, huh? They'd just fly away.
Yeah. If I was them, I would leave the windows open. Like
Just let everything escape. They
yeah,
can't
why
afford
not?
it.